Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It has now been just over 8 months since Modern Warfare released. Side note, that went by really fast. But in that time, we have seen a ton of stuff leak regarding content that would be coming to the game, or content that we assumed would be coming to the game. I would actually say we've seen more stuff leak this year than in any other year prior. However, how many of those leaks actually came true, and how many of them are still missing from the game? Well, today I wanted to break that down and sort of look over all the various leaks that we've seen and covered so far this year, from new maps to new modes for multiplayer and Warzone, and pretty much everything else in between, to sort of see what content has not yet come to the game that we can either chalk up as scrapped or perhaps coming in the future seasons. So as we go through it all, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new to the channel, we are getting super close to 500,000 subscribers. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest Call of Duty news and intel, this is the place to be. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. Now, as I said, to really figure out what we may have left for the remainder of Modern Warfare, we've got a lot of various leaks to look over, dating back to like 7 months ago when Reddit user Senesalo leaked quite a few things about the game. Now, keep in mind throughout the discussion today, there is a chance that some of this content was scrapped, but there is also a chance that Infinity Ward is really playing the long game here. As of now, we know for a fact we are going to see Season 5 launch right after Season 4 comes to an end in August. However, after that, we don't really know if there's going to be a Season 6 or a Season 7. We know that COD 2020 is supposedly still releasing this fall, and with Season 5 going live in August, that should end right around the time when COD 2020 should be releasing. But of course, if there are any delays there, that could change, or you never know, Infinity Ward may just continue to update the game past its 1-year life cycle. Either way, we've got a lot of content that is still unreleased. So let's start with the operators, because this is a discussion that is definitely unique, kind of in a weird way. As always with leaks, images of the leaked content cannot be shown on screen, but Senesalo's Reddit will be linked down below if you want to follow along or just check things out for yourself. Now, 7 months ago, Senesalo posted about 13 operators that were leaked for future DLC, and of these 13, we've actually already seen 3 of them release, those being Iskra, Ghost, and also Zedra, aka Mara from Season 1. Now, the other 10 that we see there are Kilgore, Nebo or Nebo, Stoli, Trig, Yandi, Farah from the campaign, Hooper, Kato, Lynch, who is actually Marshawn Lynch, and then finally Quinn. But here's the thing. Since this leak came out, like I said, we got Mara, and then we got Ghost, but then we also saw Mace, and Alex, and Price, and a few other operators who were never mentioned here, which is why this operator list is so confusing to me. You know, it is definitely correct to an extent, we've seen that through hard evidence, but when it comes to the remaining operators, I would say Farah is definitely one I would expect to see release. We've seen plenty of other campaign characters added in, and Farah, especially with how important she is to the overall storyline, would definitely fit into the realm of multiplayer. Outside of her though, the rest of this list is really a giant question mark to me because we don't really know anything about these other characters. One other character we do know about though, or I guess kind of know about I should say, is of course Soap. And as I've said before, he's the only member of the new Task Force 141 that is not a playable operator. So to me, by process of elimination, he should also be coming in the future. Now, moving on from the operators, next up we have a ridiculous amount of maps that leaked last year, 38 to be exact, of which we have seen multiple release up until this point, bringing some credibility to this list in general. But as we've seen recently, the addition of new maps has definitely slowed down for multiplayer, so this is another case of we probably won't see all of these added in the future, unless of course Infinity Ward plans to have a second year of content after COD 2020 is out. Anyways, first off, we did see a few gunfight maps mentioned, and keep in mind these are all the code names, and they're not necessarily the official map names sometimes. But here we do see Cage, Cargo, Hook, Exclusion, and also Shoot House. Now, kind of odd, obviously Shoot House is already in the game, and apparently it was originally planned to be a gunfight map instead of a 6v6 map. Now, Exclusion we just talked about yesterday, this is actually one of the maps in the files right now that has an image tied to it, meaning it should be releasing in the relatively near future, either in the second half of Season 4 or in early Season 5. So that is one we can expect to see here pretty soon. Now, Cargo has also made it into the game already, leaving just Cage and Hook. And seeing as we usually see 1 or 2 gunfight maps per season, it is quite possible that both of these end up releasing by the end of Season 5. Now, we also have several 6v6 and 10v10 maps that were leaked as well, and I do believe there are some ground war maps in here too. So running through this list, here we've got Anai Attack, Crash, Dam, Krovnik Farmland, Gulag, Hospital, Layover, Lowline, Lumber, Malyshev, Millbase, Oasis, Port, Prison, Ravine, Shipment, Slums, Stadium, Subbase, Super, Yurzikistan, Torres, Transit, TV Station, Farida, Rust, Takedown, and finally, Borderline. Yeah, I'm now out of breath. Now, out of these, we have seen quite a few of them already release, including Anai Attack, which is, I believe, Anaya Incursion, Crash, Krovnik Farmland, Port, Shipment, Super, I believe, is Atlas Superstore, and then we do also have Rust. So, when it comes to the unreleased maps, the ones we've seen more recently are Malyshev, Stadium, TV Station, or Broadcast as it's more likely to be known, and also Farida. Season 4 apparently added an interior to the stadium, and it seems it may be coming as a new multiplayer map, as well as a new playable area in Warzone. Farida should also be coming too. As we talked about yesterday, it was actually confirmed by Joe Seacott that this was going to be a future DLC map, and as far as Malyshev goes, your guess is as good as mine there. Then, when it comes to TV Station, aka Broadcast, here's where things get a bit interesting because, as I'm sure you noticed, there are a lot of maps here that are instead locations in Warzone. So part of me wonders if they sort of took this list of DLC maps and sort of just pick and chose which ones they wanted for multiplayer, then the remaining ones they threw into Warzone as unique locations. You know, obviously Dam, Hospital, Millbase, Prison, the Stadium, and also TV Station are all in Warzone, so yeah, just something to think about there. Then, moving into the leaked modes, once again we've got a lot to talk about here, both for multiplayer and also for Warzone. So, in multiplayer, once again Senesalo gave us a nice list of what to expect, I guess you could say, but unlike operators and some of the maps, some game modes are a lot harder to decipher, and unless they do have a description with them, it is pretty hard to tell what exactly they're going to be. But we do see the modes of Showdown, Onslaught, Incursion, Fireteam, Breach, Arms Race, and Team Juggernaut, which I think was actually scrapped and moved to Warzone as Juggernaut Royale, which of course can be seen on the Season 4 roadmap. Then we also have Reinforce, that of course has already come out, Rupture, which apparently wants you to take control of a Juggernaut and then push it to the enemy base, so that would be kind of similar to Safeguard from previous years. We've also got One in the Chamber, already out, Invasion, which sounds a whole lot like CTF, Infected, already out, High Value Target, which is sort of like a Protect the President kind of mode, I guess. Players on each team are listed as high value targets, and if you do take them out, then you get some score. Then we have Gun Game, Grind, Drop Zone, Demolition, Defender or Team Defender, CTF, Search and Rescue, and All or Nothing, which have all been released. And finally, we see Assault, which really just sounds a whole lot like Demolition, so I'm not sure if that's ever going to be released. However, when it comes down to it, I think all of the unreleased modes here stand a pretty good chance of releasing, just because we do get new playlists pretty much every single week, so there are plenty of updates to come to the multiplayer playlists in the future. Now, for Warzone, we've got a few modes here as well. Some of the ones on this list that we've seen already release include Stimulus, or Bottom Line as it was also known in the files, Classic BR, and then Realism, which we just saw recently. Now, for the unreleased modes, we see Mo Gulag Mo Problems, which implies you can visit the Gulag more than once, Non-Stop, where the gas, I guess, never stops moving, Pew Pew, where pistols play a more prominent role in-game, Run Like Hell, where the gas just moves way faster than normal, Infinite Gulag, so maybe non-stop respawns until an entire team is wiped, One Shot, which seems pretty self-explanatory, and then finally, Inflation Redeployment, which seems to imply every time you redeploy, the cost of a buyback increases. That would be my guess at least, but only time is going to tell there. However, just like the multiplayer modes, because we see new LTMs all the time in Warzone, all of these seem pretty likely to release throughout the next few months. Then, finally for today, we can bring up a few weapons, although honestly there's not a ton here, but the weapons that we have not seen release yet are the HKG-28, which seems to be kind of similar to the EBR, so a marksman rifle in that sense. Apparently the AN-94 is in the files, and this has been rumored to be a Season 5 DLC weapon. Then of course we also have the Rytec AMR, which is on the roadmap, and it'll apparently be similar to the Barrett from previous games. So with all of that being said, those are effectively all of the major leaks that we've seen throughout the year and what's left when it comes to said leaked content. And that is going to wrap things up for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new here and you want to stay up to date with the latest Call of Duty news, intel, updates, leaks, and everything in between, feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. That way you'll always know whenever I upload a new video. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL on all Scuff, G Fuel, Control Freak, and Respawn products. All of those links can be found in the description below, and once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.